Well, at least some of it was at least decent. I'm Boston Pay 6. I'm back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Raw. And Raw has been getting lazy, but if I'm going to be honest, some of the show wasn't actually bad. There was actually quite some good stuff, but it was buried beneath some bullshit. So why don't we just get into it? We get a recap of the Miz Lashley title situation last week. You know, how Lashley wanted a championship match against Miz, and Miz chickened out through most of the night, and then Lashley won the title in that lumberjack match. Lashley backstage, he says it's the era of the Almighty. Then we get Miz and Morrison in the ring. Miz basically saying it's not fair, and all that stuff. And then we get Lashley's amazing entrance. God forbid. That pyro was glorious. Glorious. Okay, I'll stop that. Yeah, this was a great pyro, entrance. Great stuff. Miz versus Lashley for the WWE title. It's a rematch. McIntyre's looking on. Match went on for a little bit. Miz got in a little bit more offense on Lashley, but it wasn't enough to put him down. Hurt Lock. Lashley getting very intense. Looks like he was about to do something else to the Miz, by the way he was looking at it. Whatever. Miz taps out the Hurt Lock. Okay. McIntyre wants the title match, and then Sheamus attacks, and then we get more on that in a little bit. McIntyre challenges Sheamus to a no DQ match. More on that in a little bit. Recap of the whole Shane Braun thing, which we'll be talking about here in a little bit, because there's a segment that is unrefutably stupid. Truth and Strowman. Truth says he's sorry about sending pics of Braun and posting it to Monster Quest. God Jesus, that actually got me, I will admit. Truth, the whole comedy shtick that he's doing with the whole 24/7 is not good. That was funny. I have to admit, I cracked up a little bit. That was actually pretty funny. He's seeing Monstar and, obviously talking about Space Jam 2. I've seen pictures of it. It looks like ass, but I mean, we can't all be winners. I mean, look what they did in the Tom and Jerry movie last month. Yeah, that was not a good film. That was dog crap. Absolutely abhorrent, that film. I hated that film. Strowman demands an apology. Shane apologizes. Sarah with Shane on his apology. Because Shane, saying that he'll speak a little bit more on Braun. Then we get McIntyre versus Sheamus, no DQ. This was actually not bad. It wasn't it was a bit weaker due to the finish than last week's match, but damn, this was a pretty good match. Candlestick shots, steel chairs, beating the piss out of both men. Stairs are being used. They both went on the announce table. Two thick lads using a stick. Delete your research history. In the end, Sheamus, I think, Claymore kicked Sheamus on the outside, and then, Sheamus gets hit with a bro kick and then, falls out of the ring. McIntyre tries to throw Sheamus back in the ring, but Sheamus rolls out. Bro kick to McIntyre on the outside. They both grab steel steps and basically do jousting with them. They both collided. McIntyre goes over the barricade. Sheamus lands backwards, and the steps did get him a little bit. I hope Sheamus is okay, because damn, that looked like that could have been a concussion. And yeah, it went to a no contest, which, yeah, that's a bit of a weak finish, but I mean, if Sheamus had a concussion, then I don't think that would have been a good idea to continue the match. Recap of the whole Orton Fiend thing. Can we get rid of this, please? There's a new backstage colleague, Kevin Patrick. He seems like he's having a blast there. I think I think he's replacing Kayla Braxton. I think because of her deleting her Twitter, and if she get harassed just because she came out as bisexual, and she's getting harassed, go to hell. You shouldn't harass someone for what their sexuality is. Now, granted, Kayla is honestly freaking beautiful, but I'm not getting butthurt over it. It's her life. It's her decision. You shouldn't judge people for just for what they like. Like, if a girl likes a girl, don't get butthurt and harass them. If a guy likes a guy, don't get butthurt and harass them. Don't harass people on their sexuality. Because that shit is stupid. Styles is backstage, talks about Orton and all that stuff. And then Orton shows up. They're going to have a match later on. Woods versus Benjamin. It was okay, I guess. Inside Cradle 1, 2, 3. Woods for the win. Then we get Riddle backstage on a scooter. Because reasons. Backstage getting ready for his match. Then New Day show up and Riddle's like, bro, do you wanna, doing it. God. I get a headache watching Riddle because he makes no sense. He was saying New Day, hey, do you mind watching my scooter? I don't get Riddle. I don't get his shtick. I seriously don't. Cool, he sounds like he's high. It's probably because he is. And apparently there's videos of Kofi writing it, which, okay, good for Kofi, I guess. I don't know. And then we get Riddle versus Slapjack. It was a match. Riddle wins. They're not doing usually when Riddle does the Final Flash, he usually hits his he does that. They're banning that now, which good, because that stuff is stupid. I listened to Disco Inferno and Vince Russo talk about that. It's insane that they're kind of right, considering that I hate Disco Inferno and I despise Vince Russo. They are absolutely correct about the knee slapping. It looks stupid and it looks phony. Granted, Disco said fake, and I kind of got pissed about that because I don't like using fake when it comes to wrestling. It's phony, it's predetermined, choreographed, yes, but don't use the word fake. Or else you'll end up like John Stossel and David Schultz, or the Kuwait incident with Vader, and etc. But when you have Vince Russo, of all people, in Disco Inferno being right about that, what is even 2021 at this point? So, anyways, yeah, sorry about that. I had to go off a little tangent. Yeah, Riddle wins. It's gonna set up Ali versus Riddle next week for the U.S. title. Recap of Shane Braun from earlier, then Shane and Pierce are backstage. Shane wants, McMahon wants Braun in the ring. Then they're in the ring. Braun looks confused, and he says he is. To be fair, this whole segment was so bizarre. Shane looked exhausted, and he sounded like he was out of breath. I hope he's actually okay. They're trying to recreate stuff that Shane and the Big Show did in 2001. The thing is, Shane was in his early 30s, and it was kind of believable considering Big Show was kind of a threat. Strowman is just there, and Shane is in his 50s. Strowman is just kind of there. Anyways, he said he'll never call Braun stupid. This whole shtick was so weird. And then, Braun's pissed and he's going after Shane, and then Braun, walks off after he thinks Shane leaves in a car, but it turns out Shane really didn't. This is going to lead to a Mania match, I believe. Lana and Naomi versus Shayna and Nia with their superior immune system. A women's tag team title match. Reginald is here. Great. Reginald's now buried. Actually, I shouldn't say that. They haven't done anything stupid with him yet. But why is Reginald there? Seriously, if this turns out to be a love triangle or a love storyline between him and Nia, No. Just stop. Get some help. No. I mean, if Reginald's actually going for Sasha, I don't blame him because Sasha actually has personality. Match was whatever. Didn't really care about it, and that's a shame because I like Shayna and Naomi. Lana, I'm kind of 50-50 on her. Shayna, or not Shayna, Nia can go piss up a rope, as Jim Cornette would say. Okay, yeah. Shayna and Nia win. Orton's backstage, talking about how he's gonna beat, AJ Styles with 3 most devastating words in professional wrestling. Rhea Ripley video package. Hopefully she's on Raw soon, and hopefully into the title picture between, Asuka and Flair. And I hope Asuka. Well, I'm just gonna talk about Asuka here in a second. Brooke, Dana Brooke, and Mandy Rose are backstage. Flair shows up. Apparently, she says that you gotta prove that you're capable of having a title shot. Is she the GM now? Like, seriously. I hope Asuka gets better because, oof. That kick to the face, that did not look good. And I hope her dental surgery is back in time for Mania. By the way, Mania 37 will be happening live. It'll be happening at Tampa Bay Stadium. If any of you guys are considering going, I hope y'all be safe. And I hope y'all have fun. That's going to be interesting, It'll probably be some cardboard cutout fans, most likely. But if people are actually going, that will be very, very, very interesting. Then, recap of Styles and Orton earlier. Styles is backstage, talking about this whole Fiend, why the Fiend and Orton thing, that's very stupid. To be fair, it really is. Styles with Omos versus Orton. But before we get that, we get a recap of Lashley and Miz. Like, basically the whole thing for no reason. And then we get Styles versus Orton. Match was good. Phillips said a WrestleMania caliber match. Despite the fact that you faced off at Mania 35 2 years ago. Get your facts straight. Yeah, match was okay. This is probably their weakest match, but it was still pretty good. Bliss is on the screen, doing the whole satanic stuff. They have to praise the Lord Almighty Stan. Corner pyro goes off, kind of like how Kane's did in Bad Blood 1997, with only 3 of the corner pyro going off. But anyways, Motor Oil Orton's. Try saying that 5 times fast. Man, Orton needs to get that vomit thing checked out. Meanwhile, the match is still happening, by the way. No DQ, apparently. The match didn't get called for disqualification or interference. Styles wins phenomenal form. Bliss laughs. Fade to black. Not the Metallica song either. This show wasn't terrible, but by the 3rd hour it kind of went off the rails, and I kind of suspected that. Yeah, besides, Lashley retaining, obviously, Sheamus and McIntyre having that pretty good no DQ match besides the botched, the dodgy ending. And Styles or Orton was pretty good, though it is their weakest in my opinion. Anyways, that is it for my Raw review. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm also Phase 6. Join the herd. I'll talk to you guys next video. Peace out.